Optimistic rumors circulate of a state so pure that the curses of the vampiric condition no longer apply. Elders swiftly crush those heard speaking about this state, but you know they wouldn't act so firmly if there weren't some truth to the secrets. It's thought that this state of being is perfect harmony between humanity and the beast was discovered by the enigmatic vampire Saulot. Not enough is known about the exact path for one to reach Golconda. Followers of Saulot say it is different for each kindred, based on the unique sins that they have committed. You may be on the path yourself, seeking the truth to all the rumors, or perhaps you are a servant of a master of ravens and seek to disprove Golconda, erasing it from the hopes and dreams of all vampires. Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to our World of Darkness and the Laws of the Night playlist. In this playlist, we go over LARP, live action roleplay rules for Vampire the Masquerade, which are presented to us by Mind's Eye Theater and By Night Studios. So, Loresheets in the book are marked down as a special type of background advantage. You can buy these at character creation, or with your storyteller's permission, you can buy them after your character's already been in play for some time. This is something that you're going to want to talk to your storyteller about, because not all Loresheets will fit within the confines of a chronicle. Loresheets are a special way of not only giving your character a special advantage or advantages in gameplay, but also tying them in to the overall background meta plot within the Vampire the Masquerade storyline. I have found as a storyteller that Loresheets tend to be ignored at character creation just because it's a new mechanic and people don't exactly know what it is. Now, depending on when you're watching this, or even in your chronicle setting, this might not be true for you. You could very well have a game there people are obsessed with Loresheets, and with good reason. People who are used to playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition tabletop will know the benefits of Loresheets and exactly what they can do for your character. And there are several options in Laws of the Night and in future publications coming out from By Night Studios. That being said, I do want to point out that Loresheets are a lot different in LARP than they are in tabletop. In the tabletop setting of Vampire the Masquerade, Loresheets are going to add a special nuance to your character sheet. You might get a bump here and there in a background or even a discipline power because you have an associated Loresheet. However, in LARP, Loresheets tend to be a heavier hitting mechanic. They give you massive advantages, and they also should be something that are limited in a game, maybe only allowing a certain number of people out of a larger group to take that amount. Or you could build an entire chronicle completely around a Loresheet. Another huge difference from tabletop to LARP is that, much like all other backgrounds in LARP, the Loresheets are limited to 3 different advantages instead of 5 as they are in tabletop, as there is a condensed way of running things, as with all backgrounds in LARP, compared to tabletop. Purchasing Loresheets can be done with your free points at character creation. At character creation, you get 7 free background traits, and you are completely allowed to dump those points into a Loresheet, getting those free dots. And I want to stress that very much because there's a difference between dots and experience traits. At character creation, you will be given a free amount of experience traits to flesh out your character, to make them an individual. And when you have those are to be spent as experience points. Backgrounds are purchased at 3 experience per dot. But with your 7 free traits of dots, you can just take the points completely without worrying about the expanded cost when it comes to experience. That being said, if you wanted to buy the Sect Veteran Loresheet, for example, taking that would cost you 6 of your 7 free dots of backgrounds. However, if you're going to buy it with your free XP at character creation, it would cost you 3 points for a level 1, 6 points for a level 2, and 9 experience points for a level 3. Bring the total to 18 points if you wanted to buy a complete lore sheet. Now, personally, I am the kind of person who likes to buy things little by little over time so that my character has a chance to grow into what those advantages are. That is my style of playing. It is not the only style of playing. And being able to start with a small amount of a lore sheet to build up the tension is a lot of fun. With that being said, you do not have to buy these in order of experience. You do not have to start with level 1. You could very well start with the 3-point background instead, because what these are associated advantages with the meta plot that your character can take advantage of in any order they wish. You could buy a 1, you could buy 1 and a 3, you could buy just the second one. You can do it any way you want to. And that needs to be kept in mind, that these are not a progression style trait. In that way, multiple characters could start with the same lore sheet and have completely different advantages for taking it. Golconda as a lore sheet was something that I had never really considered utilizing much in characters that I've played, but one of the very first times I ever played this game, this LARP version, was in a Canada at Midnight game in Texas. That sounds so weird, talking about Canada at midnight while in Texas. Where I played a high humanity Golconda seeking Tremere. And it was a lot of fun. This is actually a really, really great lore sheet, and it opens up a lot of very fun roleplay opportunities. Investing 1 dot into this lore sheet gets you Satisfy the Hunger. You have begun your studies along the path of Golconda and learn to be more efficient in blood usage. Once per game, you may lower your hunger by 2, but not below 1, without feeding as a standard action. So you cannot take away your hunger completely. You're always going to have at least 1. But the concept that you can just go, now is not the time, and just blow off that hunger completely is very nice. You can cut down all the way to 2, depending on where you're standing. If you're at a 5, you can get down to a 3, that kind of thing. And that is very, very useful. The fact that a vampire can just go, I'm not feeding now, once per session. That kind of thing speaks out of vampire fasting and where on the path of Golconda that could lead. Investing 2 dots into this lore sheet gets you Saulot's Disciple. You believe in Saulot's teachings that Golconda is the ultimate way to overcome the Kindred curse. You practice a form of self-mastery that involves letting your beast off the chain sometimes, so that you can control it when needed. Prior to a game session, you have taken the steps to unleash your beast in a controlled environment, and you automatically succeed on your first frenzy test of the night. So once per night, you can basically go, I'm not frenzying because I already did. And I love the whole concept of working in tandem with your beast. It does bring out the concept of finding balance between humanity and the beast within. Investing 3 dots in this lore sheet gets you Overcoming Banes. You have learned some of the secrets of Golconda, a way to walk the never-ending path of balance between humanity and the beast.
These secrets allow you to suppress your banes to some extent. As long as you have a humanity of 7 or higher, this lore sheet advantage provides you with the following benefits. You may reduce your bane severity by 1 to a minimum of 1. Once a night, you may reduce the damage from a fire-based source of aggravated damage to normal damage. Once every 3 months, you may spend up to 3 hours in sunlight without taking damage. Now, personally, I have always had an issue with vampires finding a way to not take damage from sunlight. But it's also a very interesting advantage. The fact that they give you that way about things that you can do is very nice. But I also like the fact that you have to keep your humanity at 7 or higher. Once you go below 7, you start having issues on your path of Golconda. So Golconda is an iffy subject when it comes to a lot of people when it comes to Vampire the Masquerade. The idea that Saulot went and studied in the East and brought about this way of finding balance within yourself, of holstering the beast and elevating your humanity, of finding balance between the two. There's a lot of different ways that you can look about things, and I have my own opinions on it. But this is not something that I would ever not allow in a game of mine, because it's one of those things that just can cause a lot of ruckus. We'll just put it that way. It can cause a lot of ruckus. I personally am a fan of a Golconda in games, especially if people are going for that like self elevation, that redemption style of Vampire the Masquerade. I am Voivode Maquette. This is Our World of Darkness, and thank you very much for joining me in this study of one of the lore sheets, Golconda, for the live-action role-play version of Vampire the Masquerade put out by By Night Studios. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Good evening.